We all kind of have that picture in our minds, don't we? You know, those beautiful old European streets, maybe working remotely from a cafe, sun shining, overlooking a river somewhere.
Yeah, that dream life.
Exactly. A life where there's just tons of culture and your commute is maybe just a nice walk or a pleasant bike ride, finding that sweet spot, that perfect mix of work opportunities and, well, just a really great quality of life.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And that search, that quest for the best possible city experience, that's really what we're diving into today. We're trying to move beyond just the travel fantasy.
Just getting practical.
Getting practical, looking at strategic urban analysis. We've dug into the source material, this report on Europe's 10 best cities for living in 2026. And what's interesting is it's not just a simple ranked list. It's more like a detailed blueprint for what makes a city successful now and looking ahead.
This looks like a really solid set of sources. So what actually defines a best city for 2026? I mean, it's clearly got to be more than just, I don't know, low crime and good coffee, right?
Oh, absolutely. Way beyond that. The criteria these days for these top cities, it demands a really sophisticated blend. You need the traditional stuff, the high quality of life metrics, the healthcare, education, safety.
Sure, basics.
The essential basics. But then you have to layer on the next-gen needs. Things like really strong digital infrastructure, actual sustainable policies that work, and crucially, either genuine affordability or at least really high value for the money you do spend.
So it's how policy, atmosphere, and infrastructure all come together.
Exactly. That convergence is what seems to guarantee long-term livability. It's not just one thing.
Okay, and I found it really useful how we decided to group these cities, not just going down the list one by one, but looking at their sort of model of success.
Yeah, different approaches.
We're not just reading the list, we're kind of dissecting these different ways European cities are getting it right. We've put them into, what, 4 main groups?
That's right. 4 thematic buckets. First, the timeless champions think stability, deep roots. Yeah. Then, the green and modern pioneers leading on sustainability and equality.
Got it.
Third, the rising stars and lifestyle magnets focusing on sun, culture, and often better affordability.
Sounds appealing.
And finally, the digital frontiers really pushing innovation in tech and work culture.
Right. So by looking at them this way, hopefully you, listening, can maybe pinpoint which model, which type of city success really clicks with your personal priorities for 2026.
Exactly. What matters most to you? Is it financial security? Is it green living? Is it that cultural buzz? Let's try and find your match.
Okay, let's unpack this first group then. The timeless champions. These are the big names, the established cities. They've got the infrastructure, incredible stability, and just a long proven track record of delivering a, well, superior quality of life.
Right. They often cost more, no doubt about that.
Yeah, there's usually a premium.
But they feel like a safe bet, almost a guaranteed investment in your well-being.
So where do we start?
We have to start with the perennial number 1. Really, Vienna, Austria, the timeless champion. Year after year, Vienna isn't just ranked highly, it's often right there at the very top globally.
It's almost boringly consistent, isn't it?
In a good way, maybe. Yeah. But it's not luck, right? It's the result of decades of really smart, strategic urban planning, all focused on peace, culture, and just deep infrastructural stability.
When you read about Vienna in the sources, it almost sounds, I don't know, a bit too perfect. It mentions classical music flowing through the streets, which is lovely, but what does that really mean for living there day to day?
Well, I think it signifies a kind of underlying stability that actually allows for that cultural richness to flourish. It means public funding is reliable, preserving heritage is a priority, and maybe most importantly, the basic city services are just flawless. Yeah. That classic description of the public transport running like clockwork, it's not just a saying. It really points to the core value here, reliability. And anyone who's lived in a city knows guaranteed, predictable transport. That dramatically cuts stress, makes commuting easier, lets you actually plan your life. It's huge.
Okay, but here's the rub with these stable, high-quality cities. They often become incredibly expensive, right? Almost exclusive. How does Vienna avoid just becoming a playground for the super rich if it's always ranked number 1?
That's the really critical point for Vienna heading into 2026. It's about sustainable evolution through deliberate policy, not just relying on wealth flowing in. Vienna actively fights that affordability trap.
Yeah.
A key detail in the research is their commitment to affordable housing, specifically this century-old system they have called Gemeindebau. It's subsidized public housing.
Wow, century-old.
Yeah. And get this, something like 0% of people in Vienna live in subsidized housing, either these municipal flats or nonprofit housing cooperatives.
60%. That's astonishing for a major global city.
It really is. And that policy means the city's benefits, the culture, the amazing transport, the safety, are actually accessible to people across different income levels, not just the wealthy.
That completely flips the script on the idea that stability and affordability have to be opposites. Vienna seems to prove you can have both if you have the political will for accessible housing.
Precisely. It's optimized for long-term resident quality of life, not just short-term gains. So, yeah, if stability and that deep cultural fabric are what you absolutely need, Vienna feels like that reliable foundation. It's like home from day one.
Okay, fascinating. Now, let's head southwest a bit. A very different kind of stability, I think, in Zurich, Switzerland. We're calling it the balanced life. Now, the first thing everyone thinks about Zurich is usually
Money, high cost of living, massive salaries.
exactly. So does the analysis still say it's worth that high price tag?
The analysis really insists you have to look beyond just the cost. You need to look at the value proposition. Yes, the cost of living is undeniably high. No getting around that.
Right.
But Zurich offers an almost unmatched return on that investment. The really rare thing here is getting those top-tier salaries combined with a serious, culturally embedded commitment to work-life balance. Swiss labor laws are strict, and the corporate culture generally respects people's time off.
Okay, I see the high salaries bit, but what specific policies or structures really back up that unbeatable work-life balance claim? I mean, compared to maybe Frankfurt or London.
It's really rooted in the fundamental societal support systems. Public safety is exceptionally high. The education system, world-class, globally competitive. Healthcare, same story.
So you're paying for a premium environment.
You're paying a premium for a system that runs incredibly smoothly, very predictably. Less friction in daily life. Plus, think about things like short commute times, super efficient public services. All that means fewer hours wasted just dealing with logistics. That time you save is the work-life balance game, in a way.
And the location, the geography, that's a big factor too, isn't it? The sources mention the Alps being like the weekend playground. How much does that access to nature really count in these livability rankings?
Oh, immensely.
Yeah.
Especially for people in high-pressure, high-paying jobs. Zurich uses its amazing natural setting brilliantly. That easy access to nature, the lake right there, skiing, hiking just a short trip away, it acts like a built-in stress reliever.
A natural decompression chamber.
That's a good way to put it. It helps balance out the intensity of being a major financial center. So for 2026, Zurich really represents peak efficiency and tranquility. It's ideal for the professional who demands the absolute best, both in their career and in their personal time. Yes, it's expensive, but the value is in the peace of mind it buys you.
Okay, makes sense. Our third city in this timeless champion group is Munich, Germany, called the economic powerhouse. This feels like a city that really manages to blend high living standards with serious economic muscle, especially in tech and engineering.
Yeah, Munich is often called Germany's engine room for innovation and industry, and for good reason. If you're looking for career growth, job security, especially in fields like automotive, biotech, advanced manufacturing, Munich is a major global player. You've got huge headquarters there like BMW, Siemens. It anchors a really strong job market.
But the interesting part, the reason it's on a livability list seems to be a bit of a contradiction. How does a city known for being such an economic engine maintain what the sources call a surprisingly relaxed atmosphere?
It's that balancing act again, isn't it? Balancing tradition with innovation, work with leisure. Munich deliberately integrates leisure into the city's fabric. That relaxed feel comes from places like the enormous Englischer Garten. It's one of the world's biggest urban parks.
Bigger than Central Park, I think.
I believe so, yeah. And then you have the beer gardens everywhere. Life happens outdoors, in public spaces. This commitment to leisure plus the super easy access to the Bavarian Alps for weekends. It means having serious career ambition doesn't force you to sacrifice community life or spontaneous fun.
So, Munich's success is about offering that job security and top-tier professional infrastructure, which is vital for stability in 2026, but without making people feel like they're just living in a concrete jungle.
Exactly.
It appeals to people who are serious about their careers, but also want a strong sense of local culture and need that easy escape to nature.
Precisely. So if you look at this first group, Vienna, Zurich, Munich, you see stability defined in slightly different ways. Vienna offers social and cultural stability through policy. Zurich provides financial and societal stability through high-value return. And Munich delivers economic and traditional stability by mixing industrial strength with lifestyle. These are the established heavyweights.
Right. That sets a really high standard for stability. Now we're shifting gears quite a bit, moving to Northern Europe. These are the cities leading the way globally through innovative policy, ambitious environmental goals, and really progressive social standards, our green and modern pioneers.
And let's kick off with Copenhagen, Denmark. We're calling it the eco-friendly dream. The city hasn't just, bolted on some green initiatives. Sustainability feels like it's woven right into the city's identity. It's aesthetic even. They make eco-living look stylish, functional. It's a global model, really.
Yeah, the sources are packed with specifics here. It's not just talk. Like the bike lanes, they absolutely dominate the city. It's not just an option. It feels like the main way people get around.
And that's a massive urban planning decision, right? It fundamentally changes traffic flow, reduces car dependency dramatically. But the commitment runs deeper.
Right.
Think about the sheer number of organic cafes, the highest standards for food sourcing. It points to a very conscious consumer culture backed up by city policies that encourage healthy, active lifestyles.
And that one detail that always stands out, the harbor water is clean enough for people to actually swim in the middle of the city.
Yeah.
That seems almost unbelievable for a major capital.
It's a testament to an absolute commitment to environmental management, what they often call blue-green infrastructure. They invested heavily in advanced water management, like separating sewer overflows, specifically to guarantee that water quality. That commitment is key to why they're so highly rated for 2026. They expertly blend technology, smart design, and a really strong community spirit to hit ambitious goals, like carbon neutrality.
So if you're someone who really prioritizes environmental values,
Then Copenhagen offers a lifestyle where your daily choices just naturally align with those values. It's built in. Effortless, almost.
Okay. Now moving just across the water, eastward, we get to Stockholm, Sweden, the future of work and life. The city seems to be a real magnet for people drawn to high design, cutting-edge innovation, and maybe most critically, societal equality.
Stockholm is a fascinating case study. It manages to combine really advanced technology with strong social cohesion. The city infrastructure is famously clean, incredibly safe, and hyper-digitalized.
What does hyper-digitalized actually mean for someone living there? Is it just fast internet?
Well, the internet is great, sure. But it's more about how public services operate. Health records, municipal services, transport management. So much of it runs efficiently on a unified digital platform. Less bureaucracy, faster service.
I noticed the sources really emphasize Stockholm's focus on family life. Specifically, they mention it has one of the best parental leave systems anywhere in the world. Is that really a defining feature?
It's probably the clearest signal of their commitment to equality and long-term investment in people. The Swedish parental leave policy is famously gender neutral. It's incredibly generous in length, and it offers huge flexibility.
Right.
This encourages equal participation in childcare and the workforce. It reinforces the idea that raising kids is a shared societal responsibility, not just a private one. That level of societal trust and support is a massive draw for international talent, especially families.
That makes a lot of sense. And what about their 2026 tech edge? The sources mention leadership in AI-driven infrastructure and green energy. How does that actually show up in daily life for a resident?
Okay, take energy and transport, for example. Stockholm uses AI and smart grids not just to be efficient, but also for transparency in energy use. Their waste-to-energy plants are highly automated. Traffic management systems optimize public transport routes dynamically, in real time.
So things just run smoother.
Exactly. It creates this remarkably smooth, low-stress urban environment. It really feels like the peak of conscious progress, proving you can have high innovation, strong economic growth, and a highly equitable society with amazing social support.
So Copenhagen gives us that global blueprint for sustainable urban design, making green living aspirational. And Stockholm shows us the pinnacle of, well, equitable digital governance that puts human well-being right alongside economic success.
Well put. Two different models of modern progressive leadership. Okay, our third group signals another big shift. We're heading towards the sunnier parts of Europe now, looking at the rising stars and lifestyle magnets. These cities tend to win on a different formula. Intense cultural vibrancy, great weather, and importantly, a significantly more accessible cost of living compared to those northern and central European powerhouses we just discussed.
Right, affordability becomes a bigger factor here, and we have to start with Lisbon, Portugal, the rising star. I mean, the transformation there over the last, say, 10 years has been incredible. It went from being maybe a bit of a hidden gem to, well, the definitive digital nomad paradise.
Yeah, that label really sticks. And the lifestyle appeal is undeniable, isn't it? It's that perfect storm.
Yeah.
Warm climate, genuinely friendly local population, and crucially, that relative affordability compared to places like Paris, Munich, or London.
It feels like everyone wants to be there.
And that blend has fueled this booming creative scene. Lots of new startups popping up, tech hubs developing, a growing international community. It has real energy. It's a synthesis of old world charm, sunshine, and modern innovation.
Okay, but I feel like I have to push back a bit here. That term, digital nomad paradise, it often papers over some cracks, doesn't it? What about the rapid growth issues? Does the source material talk about the inevitable gentrification, the pressure on housing for locals when all these high-earning remote workers move in?
Yes, absolutely. That's a critical tension, a trade-off that Lisbon is grappling with right now. The analysis definitely acknowledges that housing prices have shot up, putting real pressure on long-term residents. It's a major challenge.
So how are they trying to manage it?
Well, the city is trying to mitigate it. There are efforts, like targeted regulations on short-term rentals, trying to limit the Airbnb effect, and they're actively trying to incentivize investment in tech hubs outside the absolute city center, the historic areas, to spread the growth a bit. They're using things like the digital nomad visa to attract talent, yes, but they're also aware of the need to try and slow down the displacement in traditional neighborhoods. It's a balancing act.
So Lisbon's success story for 2026 isn't about flawless stability like Vienna. It's more about managing dynamic, sometimes chaotic, growth. It's probably for the person who's willing to trade guaranteed perfect infrastructure for that cultural buzz, that entrepreneurial energy, and, let's be honest, that daily dose of sunshine.
That sums it up well. It's blending that ancient city rhythm with the demands of modern tech and remote work.
Okay, next stop, staying in the sun, Barcelona, Spain, the Mediterranean gem. This city just feels like a beautiful collision of things. Amazing art, unique architecture, and just this intense social energy.
Barcelona's appeal is really sensory, isn't it? It hits you. It's about the lifestyle itself. The source paints this picture. Mornings maybe near the beach, afternoons wandering through Gaudi's creations, evenings filled with tapas, laughter, music spilling onto the streets.
Yeah, it's the Mediterranean dream lifestyle, but in a major functioning city.
Exactly. And the economic angle is key here too, especially if you want that high-energy lifestyle. Costs are rising in Barcelona too, of course, but the sources highlight that it still remains attractive for expats because housing is generally more affordable compared to other big creative coastal cities like, say, LA or Sydney or even Amsterdam.
It's relative affordability again.
It's relative, yes, but it gives you access to that world-class beach city experience, which is usually super expensive at a comparatively lower price point.
And it seems like the city thrives on that energy. It attracts specific industries too, right? Like pharmaceuticals, design, some high-tech manufacturing. It's not just tourism and vibes.
No, definitely not. There are real economic anchors. That balance is crucial. Barcelona's success lies in its ability to pull in and keep creative professionals who feed off that external energy. It really is sunshine with soul. Perfect if you value vibrant culture and social interaction, maybe more than corporate quietness.
Okay, moving inland a bit now, and slightly north, we land in Prague, Czech Republic, the fairy tale city. Here the big draw seems obvious, that stunning medieval beauty combined with genuine value for money.
Prague's aesthetic is undeniable. Walking through history is just part of your daily commute there. It's incredibly beautiful. But the real magic, looking at 2026 livability, is the combination of that beauty with strong affordability and charm, especially for younger people or those starting out.
Let's talk specifics on the budget. If someone's maybe early in their career thinking about moving to Europe, how much difference does it make that you can apparently live well here without breaking the bank, compared to Lisbon, say, or definitely Munich?
It can be transformative. Prague consistently does well on those cost of living indexes, especially measuring rent as a percentage of income. Now, prices are going up everywhere, Prague included.
Right.
But your ability to access high-quality culture theater, music, galleries, and really good food at a fraction of what you'd pay in Western Europe, that's a massive advantage. It offers a much more budget-friendly entry point to European life.
And it's not just resting on its historical laurels. The sources say its 2026 growth is continuing as a center for tech startups as well.
Exactly. It shows that you don't need the highest cost base to foster tech and entrepreneurship.
Right.
Prague leverages its relatively lower operating costs and a well-educated local workforce to build a modern startup scene. It offers this beautiful, intellectually stimulating, and financially much more sustainable alternative to the bigger, pricier tech hubs further west.
Okay, our final group of cities. This theme looks at places where really advanced digital infrastructure and maybe a more progressive attitude towards work itself are the main attractions. We're calling them the digital frontiers.
And we start with a city famous for its liberalism, Amsterdam, Netherlands, the city of freedom. Amsterdam has done a brilliant job positioning itself as an innovation hub that also deliberately tries to maximize well-being by, well, rejecting burnout culture.
That focus on work culture is what I found most compelling in the analysis for Amsterdam. It's stated pretty clearly they value balance over burnout. But how is that actually supported? Is it just a general vibe, or are there real structures behind it?
It seems to be both culture and law. Dutch labor laws are known for being quite robust, promoting flexibility. The shorter work week is more common there. But there's also this cultural understanding, apparently, that just working longer hours doesn't necessarily mean better results.
Right, quality over quantity.
Exactly. And that whole philosophy naturally attracts a certain kind of international professional, someone who really prioritizes their mental health and their leisure time, not just climbing the corporate ladder at all costs. They get that a rested, happy employee is usually a more creative and productive one.
And the most visible symbol of this whole philosophy has to be the bikes, right? The fact that most people commute by bike, not by car. That's not just a cute detail. It's a massive policy choice that shapes the whole city.
It's absolutely core infrastructure. Choosing bikes over cars forces a different pace. It's slower, more engaged, healthier. That commitment to non-car transport translates into huge benefits. Less noise, less pollution, fewer traffic jams, probably less daily stress for commuters. Amsterdam stays magnetic for expats because the whole city feels engineered around this idea of freedom and lifestyle. The key takeaway really is that the emphasis is on living, not just working. It aims for a more holistic, maybe less toxic professional environment.
Okay, that's a fascinating model. And it stands in really interesting contrast to our final city, which seems to define its success almost purely through government-led digital innovation. Tallinn, Estonia, the digital pioneer.
Tallinn is an incredible story, almost counterintuitive. It's a pretty small city, population-wise.
Right, compared to the others.
But it's described as mighty in innovation. It has absolutely earned its reputation as arguably Europe's most digitalized city.
Okay, but what does most digitalized city actually feel like day to day if you live there? We hear about fast internet everywhere now. What makes Tallinn stand out?
It's the depth of the integration, especially with government and civic life. Almost all public services, literally from voting in elections to filing your taxes, accessing health records, it's all done digitally and apparently near instantaneously.
Wow.
The only things you supposedly can't do online are get married, get divorced, or buy property. Everything else is digital. The entire system is built for maximum transparency and efficiency. It just cuts out huge amounts of bureaucracy and waiting time for people and for businesses.
And the real standout feature, the thing the research highlights as a game changer for attracting global talent, is that e-residency program. We should probably explain what that is.
Oh, absolutely. The e-residency idea is genuinely revolutionary. It lets entrepreneurs and professionals from literally anywhere in the world apply to get a secure digital identity from the Estonian government.
Without living there.
Exactly, without even setting foot in Estonia. And with that e-residency, they can then establish an EU-based company online, open bank accounts, manage their business entirely digitally, all under Estonian law and within the EU market.
That is wild. It's like exporting bureaucracy, or rather exporting the lack of bureaucracy.
Kind of. It shows this profound commitment to fostering a global startup culture. Tallinn is basically using technology to leapfrog the limitations of being a small country.
So its appeal is this blend of digital freedom, incredible efficiency, and it's still relatively affordable compared to many tech hubs.
Right. That makes it this sort of hidden tech gem. It's attracting younger professionals, entrepreneurs who want a low-cost, low-hassle base in the EU with unparalleled government support for doing things digitally and remotely.
Tallinn really offers a blueprint, then, for how smaller nations can use smart digital policy to compete on the world stage and create a uniquely forward-thinking place to live and work, especially for people who value freedom and minimal red tape.
Absolutely. It's all about leveraging digital tools to create opportunity and efficiency. Hashtag tag Ted, I'll take outro.
Wow. Okay, we have really covered some ground there, haven't we? All across the continent, from those classic Central European hubs like Vienna and Munich with their stability and economic strength.
Right, through the Nordic policy pioneers like Copenhagen and Stockholm, really leading on green design and social equality.
Then down to the southern lifestyle magnets, Lisbon, Barcelona, Prague, offering that sun, culture, and affordability mix.
And finally, to the digital frontiers of Amsterdam and Tallinn, rethinking work culture and government services.
It feels like this collection of 10 cities really proves there isn't just one single way to be a successful city in 2026, is there?
Not at all. What makes them successful is how they cater to really distinct, specific needs and priorities. Whether you, the listener, are searching for that calm efficiency, or maybe intense cultural creativity, or just pure digital opportunity and freedom. There's a model here. Europe's cities feel incredibly dynamic right now, really inspiring in the different ways they're tackling the challenges of modern life.
And that really brings it back to you listening. Our goal with this deep dive was to help you maybe start mapping your own priorities onto these different successful models. Did anything resonate particularly strongly? Did you perhaps realize that your need for top salaries and deep tranquility points towards Zurich, even with the high cost?
Or maybe that desire for creative energy and sunshine, combined with relative affordability, makes Barcelona the dream. Or perhaps that focus on a healthier, non-toxic professional life aligns perfectly with the culture and policies you find in Amsterdam.
It's about figuring out what your non-negotiables are.
Exactly. And the choice is personal. It often means accepting a trade-off, right? Maybe high salary comes with high cost of living. Maybe sunshine and buzz come with the pressures of rapid growth. Maybe deep stability means slightly slower policy changes.
Okay, so to leave everyone with something to chew on, based on all these innovative policies we discussed, what's the final provocative thought?
All right, here it is. Thinking about all the specific innovations we saw, which single element strikes you as the most critical indicator of a city's future readiness and long-term success, regardless of where it ranks today? Is it? Is it the comprehensive, subsidized public housing model we saw in Vienna, ensuring broad access? Is it the truly gender-neutral, supportive parental leave system like in Stockholm, investing in societal equality? Or is it maybe the radical, low-friction digital infrastructure and e-residency program like Tallinn's, built for global connectivity?
One single element as the best predictor: housing, social equality, or digital government.
Which one feels like it truly defines preparedness for the complex decade ahead? Thinking about that which policy or infrastructure piece you value most, that might be your ultimate compass for finding your own perfect urban balance.
A fascinating question to ponder. Which future do you bet on?